The following is an exclusive presentation from Time Warner Cable, brought to you by X96.5 FM, Crab 106 FM, Roadrunner Speed Online, and Coca-Cola.
The all-new X96.5 plays in today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5.
Change my online service. They're all the same.
This is better.
Prove it.
How would you like to try Roadrunner high-speed online side by side with your current online service?
Dude, let's do it.
See how fast Roadrunner delivers sports and music with just a click of a button. You have 30 days to decide if Roadrunner is for you. If not, you haven't risked a thing.
No risk is good.
Call now and ask how you can get Roadrunner installed for as low as $49.95.
At Time Warner Productions, we can make all your precious memories available for viewing for years and years to come. Sit back and watch your greatest moments come to life on your television set as we transfer your most memorable photos to video and set them to your favorite music. Time Warner Productions can also edit your home movies, making several years flow at a quick pace for all to enjoy. With the help of our friendly staff of experienced editors and our state-of-the-art equipment, you'll get a professional product at affordable rates. So don't wait any longer. Call Time Warner Productions for an appointment today.
Good evening, welcome to the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31, Digital Cable 106. I'm Mark Heffernan with Brian Adams tonight. The unbeaten BHS Drillers, ranked number 7 in the state, will host the Centennial High Golden Hawks, who are 2-1, but coming off a resounding defeat to Buchanan last week.
Yeah, for the Golden Hawks, they want to rebound, show people around the valley that they are a team to be reckoned with in this year's race. For the Drillers, they're playing for a little bit more than just the Valley title. They're playing for their spot in history. As they walk through that tunnel, there's pictures of all the undefeated teams and the great championship teams, and they want a ring like this, and that's what they're going to play for.
And you paid for a few undefeated teams here at BHS. The Drillers relying a lot on speed. Thomas Stansel has had an outstanding year so far, running back. Blake Mack, an outstanding wide receiver and kick return. Guerrero is the quarterback. Thomas Bergman, the offensive tackle, and also the kicker for BHS. Centennial is a very big and physical team. Mike Montgomery returns to their lineup. He was hurt in the preseason. He's about a 210-pound fullback, and he played very well last year. And we will see what happens. Also, Fangmeyer back for Centennial. We saw them against East High. These guys were not playing for them. And that was a game where they came from behind to win by the score of 20-21 after having a very sluggish first half. But I feel the key for Centennial is to stay close throughout this game, especially going into the fourth quarter where they can utilize the running game. And BHS, their key is to get out on top.
Well, I think with the Drillers, people underestimate the Drillers. This team has been talked about as being a traditional powerhouse, the teams in the 80, 89, 90 era. Those teams were all able to pound the ball and run the ball effectively and keep ball control when they needed to.
Very short kickoff by Centennial and recovered by the Golden Hawks. Brought up a 26-yard line. He kind of pushed it to the left sideline. BHS did not cover it. Centennial recovered it in to fill the place with a big break.
Yeah, and right off the bat, Coach Snead goes with a real smart play. It's not an onside kick, but it's just a really short kick down the field, like a pooch kick, that a guy can come and catch it. And that's a great play by Centennial Golden Hawks right there.
Big opening play by Centennial. First and 10 at the BHS 27-yard line, moving right to left across your TV dial. BHS in the traditional blue with white letters. The Golden Hawks gold, whites, and red letters. Centennial trying to reestablish themselves as a Central Section power. Faced a very excellent Buchanan team last week at home. It's very unusual for them to get knocked off at home. Garner goes back and he's sacked. Quarterback for Centennial we saw, of course, against East High.
And that's Kyle Scott right there. He's breaking through, and he puts the pressure on and gets the sack. And like I alluded to earlier, talking about the traditional powerhouse teams of BHS, the defense really got underestimated in their importance in those championship drives. Those defenses, not only they create turnovers, they stop people when they needed to. And you got to remember, they also play with big play potential like the offense has here to score quick, so they play a lot of plays on defense.
Blake Garner is a quarterback for the Golden Hawks. 2nd and 17 from the BHS 35. The drill is showing their speed on that initial play. Straight drop back. Open man at the 10-yard line, overthrows him.
Yeah, that was just a little miscommunication right there with the quarterback and the receiver. There was an open window where the ball could have come into, but a defender ran out to the flats and the ball was just overthrown, trying to squeeze it in there.
Daniel Chapman was the open receiver. Maybe Garner was feeling footsteps around him. Like the flanker number 5, Hildebrand number 24, their top runner so far this year. We will see Montgomery most likely. And Cooper number 41, the fullback. We'll take a look at the offensive line. I was very impressed with the play of Sealeach in that first game over East High. Had a couple of receptions for touchdowns. Now they have 3 receivers wide to the right. Alexander in motion. Long count for Garner. Looking to his right. Here comes the pressure. Spraying left. Sealeach, 30-yard line, knocked out of bounds. Excellent containment by BHS.
Yeah, the Drillers did a good job of sucking up the defense. 3rd and 17, they ran a tight end screen to Sealeach, who, like you said, was really good in our first opening game. We saw it, and here's going to come right now to your screen. The quarterback's going to do a good job of going back like his regular pass routine, stops, finds his target, avoids the little rush, and now Sealeach turns it upfield and tries to pick up some positive yards to get into a 4th down and 7 situation.
They really covered that play very well. The Drillers were on defense. So that kind of pooch kickoff by Centennial, which they recovered deep in BHS territory. The Driller defense ranked number 1 in the area. Testing here. Play action. Garner rolling to his right. Nice blocking in the backfield. Garner decides to run it. Close to a 1st down marker. Inside the 20-yard line. A little hard to tell from our vantage point.
It looked like the Drillers are coming out and everybody's switching off. So
little short, little shy.
So he was short, and the Driller defense did what they were supposed to do. The special teams made a big mistake in the first opening kickoff, and the defense came and bailed them out. And that's what the traditional teams always have been able to have. They had good defensive teams that have bailed them out when they have made mistakes.
Well, in that situation, Garner could not decide whether to throw the ball or run it. He was kind of in no man's land. He looked to throw it, and then he was almost over the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for BHS. Anthony Guerrero at quarterback in his 2nd year at the helm for BHS. Runs to his own running back. That is Marcus Scott, the fullback. 5 to 185 as they barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
And neither team has opened up with a good play on their first possession. Drillers run into each other right here, as we're going to see Guerrero's calling out the call on line of scrimmage. Going to take the snap, and they just turn and run to each other. So again, early in the season still, but you don't want to see those mistakes. Get the momentum going. Your defense made a good play. You have some momentum going. But this team is a big play team, and they're going to be able to make some mistakes like that and overcome them.
Thomas Council number 5 is their main threat. Guerrero, the option to standstill. Great hit by number 12 for Centennial. Right in his tracks. Fangmeyer talked about him. He didn't play in that game against East. He was injured, and he was right on spot, covered it very well.
And here he is right now. Here's the option. Guerrero's going to pitch the ball, but right there he's pitching into Fangmeyer. It was well defense right there, and he just drives him into the hard Driller turf there.
That's the way to defense the option.
Yeah, and everybody has an assignment when they see that option, and he did a good job of staying with his player, his assignment, and he made the play in the backfield. Again, you know, with the Drillers, they're going to do that. They're going to take some chances and see if they can get the speed with Stansel on the outside. And if they lose a couple yards, you know, Coach Hudson does not panic when he loses some yards like that. He knows it's a long game, and he's going to go for it. He's going to make some calls.
2 receivers wide to both sides. We have a flag. BHS at their own 15-yard line. No score between the Drillers and the Golden Hawks. Now this appears to be against Centennial. The Golden Hawks have Kevin Snead 2-1 this year. And Tim Hartnett's Drillers 3-0, ranked number 7 in the state. The battle for Bakersfield, the battle for B-Town.
Yeah, and these right now are the 2 best teams we have in the city right here. And whoever wins this kind of sets the precedence for later on in the year. We saw last year Centennial pulled it off, close game, and I expect this one to be a good game.
Centennial's done very well against BHS in the regular season. Grower to throw. Still a good time. Now tries to get away and goes down. Trying to throw deep.
Yeah.
Same play by Fangmeyer with the sack, number 12, making his presence known.
Fangmeyer is showing you why he's important to this defense. He's able to put pressure on the quarterback, but he's also able to string out the runs and play the option. But right there, this is what I'm talking about in these offenses that we see with these Bakersfield teams. You have it was a third, and I think 10 or 11, I think, and you're seeing these deep post patterns. With an athlete like Mackey, get on the ball early, give him a chance to catch a 5-yard slant and let him make the play and get the first down for you.
What
you
a
have to
beautiful
trust the
punt.
athletes.
Grind by Robert Borgman. He's a lineman. He has a great leg, and we talked about the fact that off the air he's an outstanding pitcher on the baseball team. You talk about an athlete, great hang time. Centennial back deep in their own territory at about the 21-yard line. He punted that ball from his own end zone or close to it.
Yeah, and you know, people look at the size and think he's not a good athlete. He's an excellent athlete. He's in the mold of the Buckies, you know, and Derek Stevens and those guys who are big-time college football players, and Bucky had a chance to play a few years in the pros, so he's also following tradition. And that's what all these guys have tradition that they're following, and that's, I think, what keeps the mystique and that drive to be the best at Driller High.
And Stevens played your alma mater, UCLA. Garner QB for Centennial at their own 20-yard line. Inside handoff to Hildebrand. The right side about 4 or 5 yards for the Golden Hawks, who will most likely want to control the clock, keep the ball on the ground, and not let BHS have it too often in the game. Of course, BHS, as you said, is a big play team, but Centennial's idea is to control the ball.
But I think people get mistaken with BHS because they have the great athletes on the outside that make the big plays. They can move the ball on the ground. When I was playing 88, we had James Allison and Chad Prosall who also controlled the ball on the ground, so they do have some ball control in their game. It's just not big plays that knock you out.
So the Golden Hawks at their own 29-yard line, 3rd and short for Centennial in their own territory against BHS. Take a look at the Drillers defense. Rashawn Vercher is one of the linebackers, number 6. Jonathan Dover, number 7, a corner. Kyle Scott, outside linebacker, number 8. And Nathan McCauley, down lineman, number 9. Daniel Diavila, linebacker, etc. Josh Shirley, corner. Royce Cooper, defensive tackle. Alex Battistoni, DE. Okay, 3rd and a short 2 for the Golden Hawks. And their own territory. Long count, Garner. 2-step drop. Flips it long down the right sidelines, incomplete. Double coverage by BHS.
You know, and right there, you got them in a 3-deep zone. The safeties come over to help out anyway. Your corner's going to be out there. You know, again, a lot of local teams run that deep passing play, and they try to go deep. I don't agree with it. I think that the passing game is more than throwing the ball 30 yards down the field. There's a lot to the passing game that you can use control with. I just don't see these teams down here doing it. And those two good examples on both series where the coaches.
Centennial takes it, goes for the first down. And it depends on where they spot the ball. Here's the first down, very close to it. We will have a measurement.
They look like they might be a little short.
It does look short.
And with the fans disagreeing with the official spot, it could be short, which could be a big play.
We are on the visitor side here at Griffith Field on the campus of BHS, and the Centennial fans are in front of us. In fact, we're on top of the press box. There's a measurement. And they have a first down. They received a good spot.
Yeah, that was a gutsy call by Coach Sneed. You're in the territory against a dangerous BHS team, and you go for the fake punt, and they pick it up. So, you know, Coach Sneed's showing that he's coming out here to win this game. He's not coming out here to play for ties, go to overtime. He's showing right now to Coach Hartnett that, hey, we have plays too. Coach Hudson, your offensive coordinator, is not the only person who can call the trick plays, which you know that Coach Hudson will do. That's part of his game package, is he's not afraid to call the trick plays, the double reverse passes and things like that at any time in the ball game.
Well, the Golden Hawks, as I said, trying to reestablish their confidence in this game, and they make a gutsy call there, and they execute it. 1st and 10 for Centennial at their own 31-yard line. The official telling the Golden Hawks to move away from the sideline, very short sideline on both fields, both sides here.
It's a real close sideline on this visitor side on Griffith Field.
And timeout, Golden Hawks. No score between Centennial, BHS 6-5-3 to play in the first quarter. Now they're ready to go. Garner looking over the defense. 4 down lineman for BHS. Got a hand off to number 41 for Centennial. Joe Cooper, fullback. 5'8", about 210 pounds, so he is a load. And straight up the middle against BHS, up to about the 35.
You know, and that's the play, really, if you're Centennial, you want to see have a little pop to it, because that's going to be the keep them honest play. If they can keep popping that and have them concerned about that dive man, it's going to open up the other runs that they have.
Earl, Beakley, Dobbs, Tillmeyer, Magging up front for Centennial at 64, 62, 52, 77, 65 respectively as across their offensive front. It is 2nd and 6 for the Golden Hawks. Taking their time. Garner to Hildebrand off the left side. Looked like he was going to get more, but they drive him back. Might have picked up maybe a yard or two. That's about it. Depends on where they spot it. At the 37-yard line in Golden Hawk territory. And 3rd and a long 4.
You know, and that's the down and distance you want to be when you're Centennial, 3rd and 4, because you can still have your run option alive as well as a short pass.
Hey, Brian, they have some of the best ribs in town right here at BHS. Rib tip sandwiches, yes. In fact, we have a brand new concession stand behind us here on the press box side. At least new to me. 3rd and 4 for the Golden Hawks, I formation. Garner set up for the screen, has one loaded, incomplete. Excellent pressure by BHS.
And looks like they were looking again for Seeley.
Brandon Randall was the first man in there, number 3.
Looks like they were looking for Seeley's again on that play, and he was downfield a little bit, and they didn't get a chance to get the ball off, and they still almost completed to the receiver downfield. But again, Mark, you know, nobody that we've seen yet, except for East, has done a little bit, has used the short passing game to establish some consistency in their passing offense. It's either 10, 15, 20 yards downfield or 30 yards downfield.
The Seeley's was here on the near side. Very high punt by Garrett White. Doesn't have much distance, but no return for BHS. The Drills will have the ball at their own 39-yard line, their own territory. 4:59 to play in the first quarter. No score between BHS and Centennial. You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31, Digital Cable 106.
You know, last week I was at the Clovis West BHS game, just watching on Saturday night. You know, I would like to see the Drillers use Mackey a lot more going in the middle of the field. At 6'3", he's a big target with his speed. They ran a lot of things to him downfield and other plays, but he only ran one time where he ran a quick post to the middle, and with a good lower throw, it would have been a touchdown. So I'd like to see them use him more.
Guerrero up the middle to Rashawn Verche. Gets back up to about the 40-yard line. Ran quite a bit laterally, but not much upfield. So Golden Hawks pursuing the ball very well tonight. You know, they've been very strong against the run. You know, they were porous against the pass last week against Buchanan, but against the run, they had given up under 200 yards in 3 games.
Well, I think traditionally against the run, Coach Snead, wherever he's been, whether it's been in West High or here, has done a good job of coaching against the run. Their weakness is going to be in their secondary with their secondary athletes. BHS has a definite advantage, but it's how you're going to use those athletes to your advantage.
Blake Mackey wide left. Rowe tries to throw it to him, one-on-one coverage. He has a man beat. He's got to the 20. Touchdown, BHS. And watch it the entire way.
And that's the example that I'm saying with where their weakness is at. They're not going to be able to cover him one-on-one like that. If you have him one-on-one, that's not a bad play to go for. But when you rely on that big play like that bomb every time, a smart team's going to walk over a safety and take that away from you. And that's kind of what happened to Larry Curvin last week against Ridgeview. They walked the man over. You can take that away. I would be very interested to see if that play works again if Centennial doesn't make any adjustments. But right there, that's the driller kind of a niche, you know, is to hit the big play on you and get up quick.
That's what Guerrero's been doing this year when teams have put 7 or 8 guys in a box. He's been able to come up with a big play, one-on-one coverage, and Mackey just exploded. Accelerated past the DB. Great size at 6'3", and reminds me very much like Larry Kerr with the long legs.
And we're talking about tradition. There's been some good receivers come through, and he could possibly end up being the best that's come through here in the modern era after his career is said and done. He is an explosive athlete, great speed, great quickness, great size, and you can't ask for more than that. And here's Guerrero. He's going to take a 3-step drop, just steps and throws it up and over the defensive back's head. Right here is just a mismatch with this kid's speed. You can't play that close. He ran by the defensive back 3 or 4 yards, and it's an easy walk into the end zone.
Kobe Vance, number 21, trying to guard him one-on-one, and to no avail. So he just accelerated past him, a perfect throw by Guerrero.
And that's the thing with the bomb, is it has to be a perfect throw. If that ball hangs in the air, Kobe Vance has a chance to knock it away. If the ball floats out to the left, it's out of bounds. You know, that percentage completion rate is not high on that. It was a good call at that point in time for the fact that you had the one-on-one matchup. You had the defensive back in an area where he could get beat. But now you have to complement that. You can't live and die because, let's say it works tonight, when you play against a team who might have the secondary athletes to stay with them, they'll be able to take those pass plays away. So you have to go back and establish that short pass game. Now you have him where he's going to play off. Now he's ready for the slant. You hit him on a couple of slants, let him work. When that slant starts coming, with Stansel and his speed, you can run Mackey on these slants, these in routes, and you can flare Stansel out with a quick pass, and he can be gone.
Like I said so many times, speed kills. Kickoff on the way for the Drillers. BHS up 7-0, 4 minutes to play here in the first. Number 19 the ball care for Centennial, puts his head down. That is Kelly Williams. And a late flag as Williams gets up to about the 25-yard line. And we will see what the late flag is all about.
And Mark, Kelly Williams was the back that really came in and spark plug a dead offense against East High and kind of got them back in that ball game. I think he's a really elusive runner with some pretty elusive moves, and I think he's a guy that Centennial should look to use in their offense.
They utilized him primarily in the second half against East High, and he showed a lot of speed to the outside when East High was tiring out.
And not only did he show the speed, he also showed the ability to make people miss. You know, and that's what good backs do. They'll make the first or second guy miss and pick up some extra yards, just like he did on that kickoff return.
The Golden Hawks with good field position at their own 40-yard line. Split backs behind Blake Garner. Wide left, Ryan Alexander. Garner throw it, overthrows it. Looked like his receiver was turning in, and he threw it the other way, but nice coverage by BHS. You know, the Drillers are putting heavy pressure on Garner, so he doesn't have a lot of time to throw, and he was alone in the ball very quickly.
Well, the one thing that the Drillers aren't going to worry about is they feel that they have the advantage at the skilled player positions. So they're going to be able to run the eight-man front and basically come up on the line, so we're going to put pressure and press our defensive backs. If these defensive backs are being pressed up, they need to go on the outside, make a move and step to the outside and beat these guys 20 yards downfield, and that's when you throw that pass play.
Go over the left corner for BHS number 7. We saw him on last coverage. The right corner is Josh Shirley, 6 feet 165. 3rd and 10 for the Golden Hawks at their own 41-yard line.
You know, in 3rd and 10, this is an advantage of BHS, these kind of downs and distances.
Blake Garner, split backs behind him. Man slot left. Here comes the pressure on Garner. Unloads it quickly. Great reception by number 41 for the Golden Hawks to be shy of the first down. Joe Cooper with a leaping Lena reception. Great play by him.
Yeah, and that's a great catch by a fullback. Traditionally, fullbacks don't have the best of hands on your team, but that was a great catch. And a great play by the quarterback to get rid of the ball, too, under the pressure and almost pick up a first down.
4th and about 2 for the Golden Hawks. Good excellent effort by Cooper. And Garrett White will be punting for the Golden Hawks. Standing at his own 34-yard line. Back deep for BHS, number 12, Ron Venters. Take the ball towards the middle. That's a nice roll It'll be down at the 4-yard line by the Golden Hawks.
And that's a mistake by Ron Venters right there. That punt has enough hang time for him to come catch it. Wave off everybody, get your fair catch, and field the ball. As a punt returner, you have to go make that catch.
You have to be aggressive.
Yeah, that's not a low kick that you can't get to. That's a kick that has some time.
That ball probably could have been caught at the 15-yard line. It rolled about 8 or 9 yards. So now they're in dire straits at their own 5-yard line. BHS up, though, 7-0 over Centennial.
And right now, it's very dangerous for that secondary for the Centennial Golden Hawks. Confidence might be a little shaken with that big play. You have to be very aware of where Mackey is. They don't have an athlete that can match up with him. I mean, there's no athlete really that can match up with him in this city.
Here's number 2. Out to the left. Guerrero looking for a timeout, and he calls it for BHS. I'm not even sure if he had 11 players on the field. He might have had 10 players on the field.
Yeah, there was some confusion with people coming off.
Well, BHS coming into the game today, offensively ranked 3rd in the area, 676 rushing yards and 377 passing. Defensively, they were seated 1st. They'd only allowed 238 yards on the ground and 250 through the air. 104 points, 1,000 plus yards, and it only allowed 61 points. So very solid first 3 games for BHS this year. Come from behind to defeat Clovis West last week on Saturday.
Yeah, and in Clovis West game, the defense did a good job, and the offense had an average performance. Some they were having some problems with some pressure from the line, but Clovis West has a good team, and when you have a good team, they're going to be able to make plays against you. You have to be able to take those plays, those setbacks, and rebound. But really, the difference was it was a 10-0 game, and then Mackey on special teams runs a kickback with 1 minute and 47 seconds left and changes the whole game. So it goes 10-7 as opposed to going 10-0 at the halftime. So they're able to beat you in different ways.
Mackey in motion, 1st and 10 for BHS. Guerrero looking to his left. Pass is high and incomplete. Intended for Chris O'Neill for the Drillers. Coverage by number 21, Kobe Vance for Centennial. You talked about the fact of putting Mackey in motion, and different guys have to cover him. The first time Vance had him on the left side. Now he was in motion, and Centennial had to cover him from the other way. So they have to be aware of where number 2 is at.
And that was really a good call by Coach Hudson right there. He moves Mackey in motion, comes back to the wide side of the field on the slant. Guerrero just put the ball a little high on the pass play.
We have Cooper and Mackey wide left for BHS. The ball carrier Thomas Scanso hit hard and dropped for a loss. He might have gone up to about the 2-yard line. Tackled by number 99, Nate Henderson, for the Golden Hawks, 5'9", 202. Had a good game against East High.
And here it is again. This is what happened to him last week. The defensive line is able to get pressure against the Drillers, and it's not because the offensive line is doing a poor job. They're playing against 2 good defensive lines in a row. Last week, that Clovis West had a good defensive line, and so does this defensive. So the Golden Hawks, good defensive lines are going to make plays. So you got to, it's not that if you're looking at home, if the offensive line is that bad and that poor, it's just they're playing against 2 solid front team, front 7
Henderson really penetrated well in that play. 30-11 for the Drillers. Guerrero to throw from his end zone. Quarterback draw to the 10-yard line. Nice move. Here comes the flag. Is up to about the 13-yard line. Possible face mask penalty.
No, it's against the Drillers.
That was against Drillers?
It's against the Drillers. And this is kind of what we saw Centennial do against East High. They played that field position game, get them down and keep that field position and just let them, beat people up with their offensive line and eventually just wear you down. But here the Drillers are going to come out in punt formation. And they're right there. Hard to see what happened on that one, but Guerrero almost picked up the first down right there and does a good job of giving the punter Bergman some breathing room.
Almost looked like a Golden Hawk reach for Guerrero's face mask as he was going down. It wasn't intentional, but they didn't call that. So Bergman punting from his end zone. A beautiful spiral. That's hard to return. Number 7, Daniel Chapin. As soon as he catches the ball, he has belted down to the turf, but he holds on. Now the Golden Hawks will have excellent field position at their own 47-yard line.
Yes, and that was great coverage by the driller. But also, that's a good catch by Chapney. Concentration in his own man and the driller man hits him. So that was really a great punt catch.
Mike Hansen with a nice tackle for BHS. Great coverage by him, number 88.
So the one thing you got to give the Centennial Golden Hawks credit, they don't get frustrated when they're down. They stay within their framework and their poise and their game plan. And just going to try to stick with what they do and hope to stay in the game. And in the end, just wear you down and beat you like you alluded to earlier.
Seeley's number 9 in motion. Pitch back to Hildebrand. And not much there except BHS drillers in blue as he tries to cut it back against the grain.
You know, as Josh Nabone right there powering through that offensive line, those aren't the kind of plays you're going to win against the drillers. With their speed and their defense, you're not going to be able to run a lot of lateral stuff against them and get outside. And that's traditionally, these driller teams on defensively have been good defensive teams for the last 10 or 11 years. So, you know, nothing's really changed defensively for them.
Hey, Brian playing for BHS number 53, and his name is Earl Johnson IV. There's been a few of them. Earl Johnson IV.
Been quite a few.
Number 5-3. Second down, 11 for Centennial. Play action. Garner, throw left side, too high. Incomplete to number 41, Joe Cooper. I guess the officials are throwing a flag of BHS for a hit after the ball was over the head of the receiver.
And that's Brandon Randall. He brought a little hit pop to the party right there. And, you know, obviously the officials aren't going to let a lot of things happen. They're going to keep the game called closely, called tightly. You know,
if you're BHS, you don't have to help out Blake Garner. A lot of his passes have been high, which means to me he's throwing the ball very quickly.
Yeah, he hasn't seemed real comfortable since the first
Well,
he's
play. Feeling that pressure from both sides.
He's not settling in, like you're saying, and really delivering a strike like we've seen him capable of doing in the first game.
But check it out there at the BHS 39.
You know, and that's what we saw last year. Driller personal fouls keep drives going for the Golden Hawks.
Remember the punt for Centennial. BHS did not down it. It goes down to the 4. BHS cannot move it out.
Yeah.
And then Centennial benefits from this penalty there at the BHS 39.
The game is played in between the ears, too, so you make those mental mistakes and you put yourself in jeopardy.
The pressure on Garner, gets away momentarily, rolling to his right. Throws it long towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Ryan Alexander. And great coverage by the drillers.
Yeah, and then the drillers were real lucky that ball wasn't close to being catchable, because if it would have been, there would have been a pass interference. Another personal foul against the drillers. They're going to move the ball 15 more yards.
Well, Kyle Scott, number 8, was really bearing down on Garner. I didn't see the personal foul, but that's back-to-back PS against BHS. They're providing some gifts to the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, and the Golden Hawk team is a good enough team that you cannot do that to. You know, you don't want to give them a chance to tie the game up and, like you said, keep the ball going, because they have had the ball for the majority of the time.
They're playing their type of game, their tempo. 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Tony Morales, slot right for the Golden Hawks. Garner to throw. Shovel pass. That's going to be a touchdown for the Golden Hawks to number 32, Kevin Savancom. That just blew me away.
And that's a heck of a call right there. You got to give that coaching staff credit.
John Elway was famous on doing that.
They used the BHS speed and aggression against them, and it cost them a touchdown. They're extra point away from tying the game up, and really just changing the whole complex of the game. That's what we talked about when we saw the South High game. Those penalties, those 15-yard penalties, they got 30 yards free, and then they took advantage of it. And that's what the Centennial Golden Hawks will do. They will take advantage of your mistakes.
Salvancom, 32, receives a shovel pass. Nothing but daylight in front of him. 7-6 in favor of BHS. That'll be the last play of the first quarter as Centennial lines up for the PAT. Josh Payne, number 3, will do the PAT kicking for the Golden Hawks, as they basically have control of the tempo of the game so far. Back-to-back personal fouls against BHS definitely aided Centennial in their field position, and they took advantage of it.
And that's what good teams do. Good teams take advantage of the breaks that they're given.
Kick is up, it's good, it's beautiful. There's a replay.
And there goes right there the shovel pass right there to the running back. And he's just going to take off right now. And then you have Ron Venters, who was at Ridgeview last year trying to catch him, and he just didn't have the speed to get him. And it's not even a close foot race.
After one, it is BHS 7, Centennial 7 on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 31.
The next time you see one of these, think of the over 500,000 children with orthopedic or severe burn problems helped at one of the Shriners Hospitals for Children. Hospitals that provide some of the best medical care in the world, totally without charge. Now think of a child you know that the Shriners might be able to help. To refer that child or for information, call this toll-free number. There's a Shriners Hospital helping kids from this area.
Change my online service. They're all the same.
This is better.
Prove it.
How would you like to try Roadrunner high-speed online side by side with your current online service?
Dude, let's do it.
See how fast Roadrunner delivers sports and music with just a click of a button. You have 30 days to decide if Roadrunner is for you. If not, you haven't risked a thing.
No risk is good.
Call now and ask how you can get Roadrunner installed for as low as $49.95.
And the second quarter kickoff goes to number 7 for BHS, Jonathan Dover. One of the DBs, they kicked the ball away from Mack and company. And BHS will have excellent field position.
Yeah, and they're kicking the wet ball away from Mackey for good reason. Last week, he ran one back right down the throat, changed the whole complexion of the game last week. You know, you get back in the game, you're tied up, the momentum's going. The last thing you want to do is kick the ball off to him and let him run one back. If I had a guy to kick the ball in the end zone, I would just kick the ball in the end zone or aim it at the out of bounds. You know, you got the one early gift. I wouldn't push my luck with it and just kick it in.
BHS with the ball at their own 40-yard line. 7-7 game with the Golden Hawks. And Centennial has to feel very good about their position so far tonight. Guerrero. Stansel. Stansel with a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Running left to right against that Golden Hawk defense. Henderson on the tackle once again, number 99. Also 44, Mike Elizalde. A fine player. He performed very well for the Golden Hawks last year, one of the linebackers. Kevin Porter, number 20, the linebacker. Right corner on this side, number 21, Kobe Vance. BHS 2 receivers to the side. One of them, Josh Shirley. Slots, Cooper, pitch back. Look at that speed of Stansel. Boy, it couldn't go anywhere. The Golden Hawks doing a great job to string out those plays and not allowing him to break it.
Yeah, you know, there's a guy with great speed, but when you string it out, you neutralize his speed, and he has to just run up and try to lower his head down and pick up some positive yardage.
Well, I talked about the fact that Golden Hawks were very good against the run defensively. And no question, you can tell that Mack and Stansel really have some speed, some burners on them. They did a marvelous job just holding him for no gain.
But the key with him is you got to get him the ball in different positions, out of the backfield with short passes, screen plays, more than just hand the ball off to him up the middle or on a pitch out.
3rd and 6 for the Drillers at their own 45. That'll be a motion penalty against BHS possibly.
Yeah, we got that number 21 right there. Tyner Wyatt, who just moved a little bit early. He's a tight end, just a little anxious.
So it goes from 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 to about 3rd and 11 as the Drillers inside their own 40-yard line. Tony Morales, outside backer for Centennial, number 45. Garcilas in the middle. Stansel in motion. Guerrero looking over the middle. Lost it for Wyatt. Complete, hit hard, but first down for BHS.
And here it is. It's just going to the tight end. You clear everybody out, pop it over. And there's Wyatt. He's making up for it, jumping early. He comes back and makes up for it. And here, the safety Wilson comes and hits him, but I think Wilson took the brunt of that blow right there.
A big play by White, 1st and 10 for the Drillers. At the Golden Hawk 40-yard line. Hamman coverage on Mackey. Long pass to the right side. Incomplete. No penalty flag against number 28, Billy Bright of the Golden Hawks. And guarding him very closely.
And he did a good job of running actually just ran the receiver out of real estate. There wasn't much room to complete the pass. And that's the low percentage pass rate that you have with that kind of pass play. Right here, defensive back's right arm is in against the receiver, and they're just going to run him out of bounds.
Courtney Francis was the intended receiver for BHS, number 11. 9:46 to play in the second quarter. Coming in for the Drillers, number 14, Chris O'Neill. Nice size at 6'1", 190. 87 wide left. Matthew Dover. There's a shovel pass to number 20. Cooper has an opening. First down and more. Look at his speed. Hit hard and driven out of bounds by number 20 of the Golden Hawks, Kevin Porter. That play has worked twice tonight to perfection.
And here we go back, and the Drillers answer back and say, here's our version of the shovel pass. They don't score, but they do pick up positive yards, and Cooper makes some nice moves, and he shows some speed too. So there's a lot of weapons for that Driller offense to utilize.
Well, he's 6'1", 200 pounds, and he has a lot of moves, just like Mackey. It was wide right for BHS. Two receivers to the left. Pitch back to Stansel, cuts inside the 20-yard line to about the 19. He's a 5'7", 160. He has any kind of an opening at all. Watch out. Are you a wrestler? Second down, 2nd and 3 for BHS. At the Golden Hawk 20-yard line. BHS in a spread offense. Pitch back to Stansel. There's some blocking. Breaks to the outside. Look at that speed. Out of bounds. Inside the 10 for Thomas Stansel.
And right now it's going to be a pitch out. But with all those receivers spread out, Stanley's going to be able to use his speed now, dips in. A strong player is going to straight arm a guy, pick up a couple more extra yards, and it's going to be open for the run now because you have the 8 men out of the box by the offense being spread out.
Yeah.
There's going to be room to run. When there's 8 men, there's just not room to run.
The spread offense has worked very well for BHS on this series. 7-7 ball game. Guerrero stands the run to left side, cuts back inside. Looking to follow his blockers to about the 3-yard line. 45 had a shot at him in the backfield. Tony Morales, but could not corral him.
Yeah. That was a good tough run inside. He was really patient, waited for his blocking, picked the spot, and he just made a move inside and picked up some yards. He's getting close to that touchdown right here. He lets his blockers do their work, and he just cuts it up and puts his head down and goes towards that goal line. But one of the reasons why this offense is spread out, they have walked somebody over Mackey and then over him to help cover him, and that's what I was talking about earlier. If you have a kind of player like that, it's going to take people out.
We're doing that with Mackey, who's flanked wide left for BHS. The man on him, and the safety is back there. Guerrero on the keeper. It's a touchdown, BHS. Once again, the spread offense working very well for the Drillers. Like you said, it brings 2 guys over from Mackey. Had 2 receivers wide to the right. Guerrero's finding some openings.
Yeah. You know, now that's 2 players over. You have the other defensive backs who have to cover. You have a tight end and the other 2 receivers. So now all of a sudden, you only have 7 guys left to play it, and these backs can pick their holes. And Guerrero did a good job of finding some room to operate and just cut it up and score it.
Anthony Guerrero, 5'9", 175, but very tough. With a touchdown pass and a score to TD for BHS. Barthelmess with a kick for the Drillers, 14-7 BHS. At 7:57 to play in the second quarter.
You know, and that's the factor of when you have a top-notch player like Mackey on your team. And right now, here we have a replay of Guerrero. He's going to take the ball, and he's going to find a place to get in. And again, cuts behind his line, and it really was an easy run for him. Touchdown, Guerrero.
Anthony Guerrero, number 1, with a touchdown for the Drillers. That was a very good drive by BHS as they spread the field, and that seemed to work very well for them.
And they also
kind of took the momentum away from Centennial.
They took the momentum away, but it also showed an example I was talking to earlier. This team can run the ball, and they can grind you out. So, you know, they really have the ability to set you up with the run and then knock you out with the big plays. Or use Mackey. You have a great athlete like that who definitely is a Division I caliber athlete. They have to pick their poison tonight. Do you walk a guy out and take another defensive player to cover up top, and let the run hit you, or do you try to go one-on-one and just take your chances? You have to do some kind of combination of mixing up like you do see on the college and pro levels with their defensive coordination.
I think Centennial's best defense is to keep the ball as long as they can offensively and not allow BHS to have it too much.
You know, and that's anybody's best defense in any game, whether you
because that drill offense on the field too much, they're going to score points. There's a man who scored the touchdown for the Golden Hawks. Number 32 taking it up the middle. They refuse to go down. Finally does it at the 30-yard line. Kevin Savancom. He's a tough guy, tough athlete. 14-7 in favor of BHS. As you see the wedge being built by the Golden Hawks.
Right there, they have it. Once that wedge forms like that, you're going to get some positive yardage. And now once they start to meet contact with the driller blue, the running back's going to make his decision and run the ball and pick up the yardage that he can get.
Brian Johnson, 75, took on about 3 Golden Hawks.
And you have to have a wedge buster out there when they're going to run that wedge.
Hard hitting for the Drillers. The initial carry by the Golden Hawks on this series. Darren Hildebrand. And we'll call it 2nd and 10 for Centennial.
You know, and we talk about the Driller defense and how good they are historically in the past 10, 11 years. One thing that they've been able to have is they have good coverage, cornerbacks, and safety. So they're able to lock up one-on-one and free up 8 guys to go stop the run.
Second down situation. At a ball given to number 41 for the Golden Hawks, Joe Cooper. 89 for BHS, hot pursuit.
That's big Josh Nabone. We saw him play a little fullback last year.
Josh Nabone, remember that? Minus William Perry. Number 7 left corner, Jonathan Dover for BHS. And 34 on the right side, we have Josh Shirley. Ron Venters at safety for the Drillers. Brandon Randall, number 3. We'll probably cover Alexander. In motion, Josh Payne for the Golden Hawks. Mike Payne, who was in motion, accidentally cut up field. He was a man in motion. I think he cut up field, and hopefully he was thinking that the referee did not see him, but he did.
Yeah.
There's got to be a motion penalty against the Golden Hawks. I don't think they were sure what to do on that play.
And you were watching, you also see the Drillers shift from a zone defense to when they got to 4 equals, everybody started going up and manning up. So that's gonna allow them to pin their ears back and bring some pressure.
Look like Centennial's trying to spread it out a little bit.
Well, you're going to have to do something to open up the game when you have teams that are able to put 8 and 9 men in that box. You have to do some things, whether it be with 4 receivers or 4 receivers, empty back sets, to get room to run the ball.
You got to check out number 9, Nathan McCauley for BHS, lining up on the left side. He's 5'8", 170. You know the guy is tough.
And we
will squeeze those openings.
And we saw McCauley last year making a lot of plays in games that we watched him. He really is aggressive. His battery's always going. He's just like the Energizer Bunny. He just always keeps going and going and going. So he's really a good young player.
Once in a while, you don't always concentrate on all the players, but they tend to surprise you somewhat. You concentrate on the big guys and the people you hear about, and it's those role players that really do the great job. They plug up the holes, do the dirty work.
You know, and then you got people who are just playmakers, and I would consider him a playmaker. And playmakers not going to matter if they're 5'5" or they're 6'5". They just come out and they make plays, and the size is not going to be an advantage or a disadvantage for them.
It's not part of their mentality at all.
No, they just come out and they play hard football and make plays.
Senior for BHS, 3rd and 14 for the Golden Hawks. 6:14 to play in the first half. That is 14-7 BHS over Centennial. The Centennial fans reasonably quiet in front of us. Reasonably.
But, you know, they get excited anything close to happening big, so that, you know, they might be contained, but, you know, they'll burst open.
Well, they're only down by 7 on BHS so far here midway through the second quarter. And a very important 3rd down play. Blake Garner comes to pressure, fires it over the middle. It is tipped away by Brandon Wangle. It was a beautiful looking pass, but Wangle was about half the distance between the quarterback and the receiver, and he knocked it away.
Yeah, and Randall made a good play tipping it away, but also Shirley also made a good play, because once that ball's tipped,
go after
you can go after him. He did a good job of just knocking the receiver out of place, so there was no possibility of a tipped ball being caught, which you see sometimes.
But unfortunately for Garner, that was a nice looking pass. Tight spiral, it looked good. The Beach just had the men playing that zone. Number 5, of course, Garrett White punting for Centennial. They'll be standing his own 10-yard line, but we have a flag down. BHS with Mackey, one of the 2 receivers, lining up on the left side, along with Ron Venters. The penalty against the Golden Hawks. Remember, Bergman punted twice from his own end zone for BHS.
And the one he just boomed.
Boom. And the other one was a good punt, too, because they couldn't return it. Nice pressure put on him by Kyle Hager, BHS. Venters runs to his right. Hit and dropped by number 20, Kevin Porter for Centennial. Great coverage by the Golden Hawks.
We have a little laundry on the field over here about the 45-yard line.
Yes, a bright yellow flag.
And it's against Centennial. What do you do if you're the coach? You have them kick it again, you take the ball where it's at. What do you do?
I'd have it kicking again, because they're only at their own 37-yard line. They have to kick closer to their end zone.
Yeah. Yeah. I you know, they chose not to do it, but that's when I have a good punt returner or I have a special player like Mackey, I want him to get the ball any chance he gets. You know, you see it with Deion Sanders or anybody like that. You always see the coach tell him to kick it again for 2 reasons. You have a guy that can make a big play. The second reason is that team has to go all the way back down and run back down again.
Mackey wide left for BHS. 5-5-5 to play in the first half. Marcus Scott in the backfield. Here's another flag. This is reminding me of the 4th quarter of the South High game.
Yeah, and right there's an encroachment on the defense. There's an encroachment on the defense. I just gave the drillers 5 yards. But I tell you, I just saw a defensive back walk up on the Mackey. If he's going to walk up, he better have help up top, because there's no way he can handle him like that.
That's Kobe Vance, who was beaten by Mackey earlier in the game. He's about 4 yards off him. Guerrero fumbles the snap, runs it, has a first down and more. Midfield 50, 40, down the sidelines, gets a block, cuts it to the outside, 10 and out of bounds. So it looked like a bumble play, a fumble snap. Guerrero shows his great explosion, almost takes him the distance.
Yeah, Guerrero did a great job right there. Keep his composure, picked the ball up. Didn't try to make anything really happen, except for just take it, let's see what I can get. Caught the defense in a man-to-man situation. The receiver took a guy way downfield, and he had nobody to even watch him run. As we'll see right here, there's nobody around him. Guerrero's just running down the sideline. And it was like a bad play for BHS, ended up being a great play for BHS.
Nice block down. So that was a 45-yard run by Anthony Guerrero. Very heads-up play by the quarterback, who's been making some outstanding plays tonight.
Yeah, he's really done a good job of quarterbacking the team
Tough
tonight.
competitor. Scansel tries to cut back against the Grand Golden Hawks. Right there, penetrating very well. He had nowhere to go.
Hey, Mark, I don't know if you noticed, they only had the one receiver out there, and you can tell the difference with how congested it is by his runs. I can just look at him by his running and what he's doing, if he has the 8 men in the box or it's spread out where there's only 7 or 6 men there.
Well, the Golden Hawks trying to contend with the speed of BHS tonight. They've seen it in Mackey. And Stansel and Guerrero and Cooper. Actually seen from about 5 players already in less than 2 quarters. Wide right, Chris O'Neill for BHS. Full house backfield. In motion. Vircher. Ball given to Stansel. Cuts back. Side of the 10. Driven down to about the 8-yard line. And he appears to have a first down for the Drillers. Or at least is close to it.
And right there, they're going to throw out a lead blocker for Stansel. And he's just going to make his cutback right there. And there's some missed tackles by the Golden Hawks right there. But again, the Golden Hawks defensively were there to make the play. They just didn't make the play. And Stansel, again, is another one of those good players. Traditional type of running back for the Drillers. Speed with moves and a little power.
Earl Johnson, number 53, looking for somebody to hit. Now he's in the backfield for the Drillers, along with Vircher and Stansel. Behind Anthony Guerrero. Number 6 going to the outside, driven down. Rashawn Vircher.
Obviously Coach Hudson's giving them a different look, a different thing to think about. But, you had such great success with spreading the field out. I don't understand why you wouldn't go to it again. Now you go and you're going to kick the field goal, looks like, with 4th down. I mean, you had that situation set up so beautifully, but you had those guys, 2 people covering Mackey, and they're going to, especially the 2 people down here.
Well, he had 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, and now it's 4th and 4. I was kind of surprised they went wide 2 on a 3rd and 1 situation. I would have pounded the ball up the middle. I think they can move the ball on them.
Well,
and you would have been 2-down territory there. In this situation, you lose about 3 yards, and now they're thinking about it, whether they should go for the field goal or go for the first down.
It's still early in the game. You're not in 2-down territory yet. Right now, you put points on the board. It's early in the game. You go up 10 points. Last week, they tried that. They tried to go for a 4th and 1 against Clovis West early in the game. Didn't get it. Clovis West came back down and scored, and they were 10-0 until Mackey ran it back. Anytime you can put points on the board, get your points up there and move on. And yes, we're in Driller country, and it says it right there on the water tower. But I don't think they can just.
You've been to remind me of that all night. Driller country,
since you pointed to it, I just said I would let people know. But I don't think they can just play straight smash mouth with Clovis West and go right up the middle.
Smash mouth football. Both teams like to play it. They have variations of that. A slightly different style. 4th and 4 for the Drillers. Guerrero back in a quarterback. Cooper wide left. Wide right for BHS Chris O'Neill. This time timeout by the Golden Hawks defense.
This is the kind of drama that it has with this game. It's a big play right here, 4th and 4. Drillers come out like they're going to go for it. They were going to bring the PAT team out. They didn't, so they're going to go for it, 4th and 4. This is a situation where you see the great quarterbacks use the hard count to try to get people to jump. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do. Again, traditional thinking is you put the points on the board. Looks like the Drillers haven't been doing traditional thinking this the first 2 games that I've seen it in back-to-back weeks. You have a great defense. I say put the 3 points up. You go up 17-7. And you let your defense do their job. They've been the number 1 team in the county in defense. Let them do what they do best.
That's right. If you'd like a copy of tonight's game or any other local program here on Time Warner Cable, give us a call at 322-1941, 322-1941. Operators are sitting by to receive your call, 322-1941. Okay, BHS going for it, 4th and 4. Guerrero, play action over the middle. Man wide open, touchdown, BHS. Number 88, wide open, Josh Nabone. Check that as Mike Hansen, wide open over the middle. Nice fake by Guerrero. Could be a personal foul against Centennial after the TD. So touchdown does stand.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it was a gutsy call. It wasn't traditional. It worked for him. But, I mean, again, that's a situation where it's a real risk. They went for the risk they got. They're up 13 points right now. Could be up 14 if they make this play. Great call, play fake, pop to the tight end. And, you know, and that's a situation where you got to be disciplined if you're a Centennial defense. That's not a play that should be wide open like that, but you have some guys fall asleep not watching their assignment.
Well, Dubber covering some people on the outside and left him wide open over the middle. And many times tight ends don't make great moves, but they find themselves open because the other teams are doubling on some of the faster receivers.
Yeah, and on that one, they just played everybody straight up. They played. Mackey was not in.
Somebody got lost.
And right here, he's just going to float to the pump to the play fake of the quarterback. And really, that whole key was Guerrero with him setting that play fake up. And then right there, he just got beat. He falls asleep. Tight end's wide open in the middle. But they just locked up man to man. And if you
now the hit after the touchdown was a personal foul against Centennial.
Yeah.
More out of frustration. Yeah. There's my man right there.
That's you like the balloon man.
Oh,
huh?
he could dance. He's been dancing this whole game. Prior to the game. He doesn't stop. Look at him, he's waving his arms now.
Well, right now he has something to dance about. You have the Drillers up 21-7.
That is cool. My daughter would love that balloon man. She doesn't care about football, she loves the balloon man. 21-7 in favor of BHS at 3:26 to play in the first half. Centennial was tied within 7-7, but the Drillers have dominated the second quarter.
Really, you know, Guerrero really has been the key in the second quarter. And you can see the maturity he's made from last year. His composure right there again. He sells that whole play with the hard pitch fake. They're keying on Stansel. He turns back and delivers a strike.
Remember, he basically got BHS into great field position with a 45-yard run. We have a major hit on the kickoff return.
Yeah, you got Randall right there. You know, and,
watch out.
And he brings a load when he's coming in to hit you.
6 feet 200, has that speed and strength behind him. Now he saw something he wanted to hit.
And the Drillers just come back and kind of pooch one back on Centennial. And
short kickoff.
Yeah, yes. They let it bounce, and then it almost takes a Driller bounce as you see people coming close. And here's Randall with the pop.
Watch out. Chris Smotherman, unfortunately for him, received that hit. Lateral pass complete to White. He's got Allentown at the 40-yard line to about the 32. There's a lateral pass to number 5, Garrett White, left-hander, and he found Ron Alexander wide open on the right sideline.
And Coach Snead comes back with a little play.
These guys are gutsy, aren't they?
I mean, they're basically saying that we have some plays in our arsenal too. You're not the only team that can do it. And they come back and they hit a strike and puts them right back position to score.
And Mr. Steve Wofford has joined us here. Be up here a little bit later.
Yeah.
3 minutes to play in the first half. The Golden Hawks at a BHS 32-yard line. Double pass. Hello Brown, and BHS drills him at the line of scrimmage. Randall came in late. Got the last part of that. Excellent play by Centennial. Went to the bag of tricks. Called 2nd and 10 for the Golden Hawks at a BHS 32.
This is the ending play of that double pass right there, and got the ball down close to the 30-yard line.
Josh Sherlin made a tackle for BHS number 34, and he is guarding Alexander one-on-one on the left side. Garner looking back at the split backs. 2nd down, 2nd and 10. In the pocket to the left side, a pass picked off by 34 for the Drillers. We talked about him. Going down the sideline, Shirley. And across the 30-yard line as Garner underthrew that ball.
And they're Shirley making a big play, and that's what we talked about the defense. They're going to take the ball away. And that's what I talked about earlier about that fade. That fade ball really has to be thrown perfect for you really to have a successful chance of completing the ball. And Shirley just made a good job of just going up and just snatching it out of the air.
And a fade pass definitely was underthrown by Garner. Centennial had a chance to put some points on the board.
And here it is. It's a three-step drop,
nice play.
Steps and throws it. And this one hangs up in the air. And Shirley comes up, is short, and he makes the play.
Intended for Alexander of Centennial. BHS 21, Centennial 7. 1:57 to play in the first half.
You know, and now I would take a shot with Mackey.
Guerrero, rush out of the pocket, throws it towards the right sidelines, incomplete to the BHS bench, intended for Cooper.
And here's the run back part of the interception as he picks up some yardage and gets the ball up to about the 34-yard line.
The BHS in good position here late in the second quarter against Centennial. They'll want to run this clock down the final moments of the second quarter. Maybe air it out once or twice. Matthew Dover wide left for the Drillers. Man in the slot, Guerrero. Out off the Stansel to the 40-yard line, has a first down and more to about the 49-yard line of BHS territory, maybe 48.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're going to take away the other weapons, you have to give up something. In the traditional powerhouse teams, they've always been able to pass the ball and run the ball. Although we've never been a heavy pass team in Driller country, but they do pass effectively, and they have the talent to pass. When they do get the ball to guys, they know what to do with it. So now they're spread it out, and they're going to find runs.
Remember, Clovis West helped BHS to 20 points last week. They did a good job defensively to do that. Especially at Griffith Field. First and 10, Cooper in motion. Guerrero looking for Cooper. Has it in midfield, cuts inside a man, 45 to the 40, and dragged down to the 30-yard line. Another first and 10 for BHS.
And that's the play I talked about earlier to you about running that slant inside with Mackey. They key so much on Mackey, just flare it out to the back, or anybody out of the backfield coming out, and they're wide open. You just can't take away everything. You're either going to get beat with one thing or the other.
And Darrell Wilson, number 33, with a sliding miss for Centennial. Well, BHS players are hard to tackle. One-on-one in the open field. Mackey wide right. Cooper slot right for BHS. 32. Give it to Stansel. 30-yard look at speed to the 20. Down the sidelines. Knocked out of bounds. There are so many people to cover. Stansel, Mackey, Cooper, Guerrero,
I mean,
O'Neill.
Again, when they spread it out like that, you're really putting it bind. If you go one-on-one, it's a loss out there with Mackey. He simply is the best player on this field tonight. But Stansel right here, tough runner, gets upfield good, and just really a strong runner too. You don't see him go down a lot.
Very strong. 1:10 to play in the first half. BHS 21, Centennial 7. Now Drill's looking for more.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You have a chance to knock a team out. That's what you want to do. You want to go up 28-7 or as many as you can when you have the opportunities. And right now they just need to pound it in.
Remember the Drillers had a 4th and 4 the last time they were down there. You thought they should go for the field goal. They decided to go for the score, and they burned the Golden Hawk defense. There was a couple of timeouts. BHS called a timeout. Centennial did, and then Centennial left the man wide open.
Yeah. They decided to go for it. They made a good call. They had some things going with the running back. And really, Guerrero, again, like I said, is the one that sells that play with his fake. If he does a poor fake, the tight end doesn't, the defensive player doesn't bite on it, and the tight end's not open. So he really sells it well, and they go for it. I still think that it should be a field goal, traditionally thinking, but you take some chances and you go for it. See some chances last week, and it didn't work. So what do you
Obviously,
do?
they have confidence in their offense and in their quarterback. He's executed very well. Stansel, pitch back right. And there to make the play, number 33, Darrell Wilson. Has some blockers in front of him, but nobody blocked out Wilson for the Golden Hawks. And they'll lose some. Clock running, 55 seconds to play in the first half.
And they have plenty of time still. They have one timeout. You want to hold it in case you need to kick a field goal. But, I mean, they're sitting in good position right now.
Mackey wide left, single covered. Brian.
And that's a touchdown unless they get somebody out unless he drops it.
The right side looking for him in the end zone. Mackey open. Penalty flag. Mackey came back for the ball, got his hands on it. And complete. Covered by number 21, Kobe Vance. Vance is 5'7". Mackey is 6'3".
Mackey 6'3", but you can see the difficulty with that kind of pass play. Mackey almost has to make a great play because the ball wasn't thrown well.
Yes.
Even at 5'7", If you're 6'3", I can run you out of bounds. Vance, if he puts his shoulder into him, he can run Mackey out of bounds right there. But here's a throw, 3-step. It's thrown a little bit inside right here. It's not thrown outside to the fade where you want it. And then that's just a good athlete almost making a play despite being touched a little bit. But it wasn't a blatant pass interference.
It wasn't a flagrant.
No, but it was good enough to get the call.
They had to go around with DB to try to make that reception. But nevertheless, BHS inside the 10-yard line. With a first down, 32 seconds left in the first half, up by 14, looking for more. Be interesting to see what they go for eventually. They go for the field goal or the touchdown. But they have so many weapons that it's very difficult for the Goldhawks to cover them, as it has been for everybody who's played BHS this year. Who do you double on their team?
Well, you can't double, and that's the luxury that Coach Hudson has on his offense. It's going to take a well-balanced team like Buchanan to give them a real opposition locally where they can take some things away. Buchanan is kind of a mirror image of the Drillers in terms of they have a lot of weapons and they're a very solid defensive ball club.
A lot of speed.
Yeah. And so
but do you single cover, do you man-to-man or zone? What do you think's more effective?
Well, you're going to have to do a combination of different things. You're going to
switch it off?
You have to switch it off. One time you're in a man look and you play zone. You're in a zone look, you play man. You come over the top. You can roll people over the top where it's not an obvious over the top. You can bait them into throwing the ball. There's a lot of things you can do. It's just they don't have the practice time you would have in the college or a pro level.
BHS scouts with a single running back behind Guerrero. Mack in motion. Guerrero look to the right sidelines. As a man open. Touchdown BHS. That is Cooper. Leaping catch.
Yeah, and right there, Cooper just makes an excellent play right there. That's just the athlete.
Athletes, man, I tell you.
And right there, those are just athletes bailing out some situations that really weren't operated.
Well, you got Mackey in motion. You got to watch him. Stancil can get the ball. Cooper slides around there, throws the ball up.
But it's all based off of Mackey. Mackey makes the motion. He slants in hard. The corner freezes to see what's going to happen. The ball comes out, and he's just a tad bit late to get to the outside.
And they're able to get a lot of
Cooper.
one-on-one matchups, too, and BHS definitely has the advantage there. They're able to, the best athletes, get those one-on-one situations. Ball's up, and it's good. It wasn't pretty but successful by Eric Barthelmes of BHS. 28-7 Drillers, 2:06 on the clock here in the second quarter. Guerrero has a couple of TD passes and a touchdown run.
And another big long run. And here it is. Guerrero's going to take 3 steps and just throws it out there, puts it out. And right there, the corner just runs flat. He had a chance to make that play. He was in position, but we couldn't see it. But when it happened, he froze a little bit when Mackey went in motion and went inside. That's when he froze and gave that little bit of time to get the ball out there. But again, when you have athletes, they can bail you out of so many different times that maybe it's covered and it doesn't look like it's the best play in the world and it turns up being a touchdown. So when you have those kind of athletes, you really have a luxury as an offensive coordinator to call some things and lay more on the line, knowing that if you don't maybe call the best play in the world, they're going to pull it off and make the play.
Anthony Guerrero, 3 touchdown passes and 1 running tonight. That's a heck of a game.
You know, and he's just really controlling the game, which is a big difference from the game we saw him do last year against Centennial.
Oh, you know, one of his first starts was against Concord de La Salle. And they were rushing him all over the field, but he hung him there. Played very well in the second half in that game. The ball comes to number 41, Joe Cooper of Centennial. Going to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, and slips down. Brandon Reynolds didn't like it. He wanted to corral him, and he slipped him, but he did slow him up somewhat. So a 21-point lead for the BHS Drillers. 20-7 over Centennial. Remember, the Golden Hawks were shot last week at home, so they're going to have a long road to climb in the second half.
Yeah, this is the defense that you want to try to climb it against.
That's right. Number 1 defensive team coming in. I've been impressed by all the weapons that BHS has.
Well, I've been impressed with more is how they're using Mackey to open up everybody else. Realizing that you have a great player.
Hillebrand with an opening across the 35 to the 40. And Roundhill, number 7, Jonathan Gover, converging on the tackle. One of Centennial's longer runs tonight, but it comes with 10 seconds on the clock in the first half.
Yeah.
Air it out.
And this is a big difference between last week, the BHS team I saw offensively, and this team this week. Last week, they only scored 13 points. 7 points came off a kickoff return. So they're definitely opened up, but they're using Mackey to everybody's advantage.
Going to throw left. Long to Alexander. He's covered very well, and it's incomplete. Venner's coming over. Coverage by Josh Shirley. That'll do it for the first half. The BHS Drillers 28. The Centennial Holdgocks 7. Prep football game of the week right here on CNSI. Time Warner Cable, Channel 31. Digital Cable 106.
The next time you see one of these, think of the over 500,000 children with orthopedic or severe burn problems helped at one of the Shriners Hospitals for Children. Hospitals that provide some of the best medical care in the world, totally without charge. Now think of a child you know that the Shriners might be able to help. To refer that child or for information, call this toll-free number. There's a Shriners Hospital helping kids from this area.
Change my online service. They're all the same.
This is better.
Prove it.
How would you like to try Roadrunner High-Speed Online side by side with your current online service?
Dude, let's do it.
See how fast Roadrunner delivers sports and music with just a click of a button. You have 30 days to decide if Roadrunner is for you. If not, you haven't risked a thing.
No risk is good.
Call now and ask how you can get Roadrunner installed for as low as $49.95.
The score at halftime from Griffith Field, BHS 28, Centennial 7. Brian Adams, and we have a very special guest.
And we have Steve Walker with us here. He's an all-time leading rusher in BHS history as we're looking through the program. What's your take on tonight's game in the first half?
Well, I talked to Coach Hartnett, and I asked him, what's the game plan going into, tonight's game, and he said that, he's going to throw a lot of stuff at the Golden Hawks, and that's what he's doing. He's mixing up the defensive game plans and, playing a lot of games, stemming in and out, and I think it's causing a lot of confusion for the team. So, and the score dictates that too.
Well, Brian, what you and I talked about during the course of the first half is BHS, we thought their spread offense really worked very well against Centennial once the Golden Hawks tied them at 7-7.
Yeah, that's what we looked to. It looked like they opened up some room for Stansel to run once they spread the field out with the wide receivers and the tight end. What's your take on Stansel?
He's a really elusive running back. He kind of reminds me of, Warwick Dunn, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, he's real slippery, and you can kind of get him lost right behind that line. And once he get by you, his feet work take over, and he's gone.
And Steve, I understand you're going to play in the XFL.
Yeah, it's going to be a real awesome league. Vince McMahon has a lot, that he's wanted to establish, and it's going to be real good. So we'll wait and see what happens.
Former BHS star Steve Waffer, the score at halftime, BHS 28, Centennial 7. You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 31.
The all-new X96.5 blazing today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5. High-speed online service. Honestly, will I notice the difference?
Trust me.
Don't like change.
How would you like to try Roadrunner side by side with your current online service?
On your mark.
See how quickly you can find what you want with just a click of a button. You have 30 days to decide if Roadrunner is for you. If not, you haven't risked a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's for me.
Call now and ask how you can get Roadrunner installed for as low as $49.95.
The score at halftime, BHS 28, Centennial 7. It was a 7-7 game at one point. But a lot of players on BHS contributed to their outstanding first two quarters. But I would say one of the main men was Anthony Guerrero, the quarterback, number 1. He has 3 touchdown passes, and also he scored one for the BHS Drillers. The BHS scored the last 21 points of the first half. They dominated the second quarter against the Centennial Golden Hawks. And Blake Garner and company for Centennial will have to get something going here in the final 2 periods. Otherwise, they're going to be blown out by BHS. Look at a replay of the last touchdown scored by BHS. Guerrero 2B. The man in motion. Lobs into the end zone. Touchdown by Brian Cooper. Had man-to-man coverage on the right side. Well, it was Brian Cooper or Thomas Stansel, Anthony Guerrero, or Blake Mackey. A lot of very talented and speedy athletes for BHS. Centennial more of a power-oriented team. They had a couple of trick plays in the first half, but nevertheless, they were not too effective against BHS. And the Drillers were most adept at spreading the field like they did in the second quarter. That really helped to open up their offense.
Yeah, the Drillers, once they, like you said, they spread it out. They really did a good job of attacking with the running game. And once that happened, I mean, they could just pick any play almost, and it's like they're going to have success with it.
Great to talk to Steve Wofford at halftime. I hope we have about a 20-minute interview, but there was a guy who was just an awesome running back and athlete at Bakersfield High School. Had a great career at Southern University, and we hope all the best for him as he takes a shot at the XFL, the Extreme Football League. And he said off the air that, of course, they will be playing on grass only, no dome stadiums. They will not allow field goals or single-point PATs.
2-point conversions for everything.
2-point conversions.
No fair catches.
You probably won't have a lot of those, let's say, fouls that we call personal fouls. They won't have a lot of those in the XFL. They'll probably have to be a lot more flagrant. Ball kicked on to the Golden Hawks. And the man scores on a touchdown. Kevin Savankum returns it to about the 25. And the Golden Hawks have a long road to climb here in the final 2 quarters.
This is a really important series right now for the Golden Hawks. They have to get their confidence back, get under control. They need to really move the ball down the field and put some kind of points on the scoreboards. They do not want to turn the ball back over, because right now, when BHS spreads that field out, they really have a lot of options to pick for, and they're going to put more points on the board.
Travis Garner, the quarterback for Centennial, number 15. I saw number 11, Travis Friedland, warming on the sidelines for the Golden Hawks. Ball's gone off to the left side to Centennial. BHS think they have the ball. And officials rule it down. We haven't heard much from Tittlemeyer tonight for Centennial. Number 77, Casey Tittlemeyer. One of their offensive linemen also plays some defense. Earl, Bagley, Dobbs, Tittlemeyer, Maddox up front. Alexander split in. White flanker, Garner, Hillebrand, and Cooper in the backfield. We have not seen Mike Montgomery here in this game offensively. With 24, the ball carrier, Hillebrand to the outside. It's up to about the 31. Virtual tackle number 6 for BHS.
Yeah, and right there, Hillebrand bounces outside, gets close to pick up the first down, but the BHS defense, with that speed, just shuts it down and tackles them short of the first down.
It appears like the Centennial running backs will have maybe a 4 or 5 yard gain. BHS has closed it so quickly. I think you literally have to full amount of play to make big yardage.
You know, we talk so much about the offense, we don't really give a lot of credit to the defense that, again, has just been so solid.
Well, defense is the key. Black, Brown, and Randall. BHS line up on the left side. And coach for the Drillers, but it could be against. It was drawn offsides, yes indeed. Look out, Shirley, number 34, playing a wide receiver for Centennial, very close on the right side.
And it seems that's been the best, some of the best offense for Centennial has been the mistakes of the Drillers defense on penalties.
You see our buddy Nathan McCall line up on the right side, 5'6", about 170. He's so quick. Ball going to Hillebrand across the 40-yard line. Kind of slices his way to the 44. Right on there on the tackle. Off number 77 for the Drillers, Calvin. That's his name, Calvin.
Yeah, big Calvin. He's hustling down. He's a D lineman, so for him to turn around and get down there shows his quickness and desire to make some plays.
He is 5'11", 335 pounds. He's a junior. Calvin, 7'7". Yes, indeed.
And he's like in that, he's a big, quick guy, too. He's not just big.
That's right. Moving around the defensive line. Second down, 2nd and 3. Garner to throw. Comes the pressure from the backside, and he will go down. Penalty flag. Number 64 with a tackle for BHS. Alex Battistoni. McCauley was coming from the backside.
And the penalties against Centennial.
Was it holding against the Golden Hawks? Trying to keep those Drillers out of their offensive backfield. And BHS is clapping against the Golden Hawks.
Here's the play fake right there. They're going to roll out to the right, and nobody is open, so there's good coverage by the secondary, and there's the hold right there. And to no avail, still able to make the play.
Stop Battistoni. And McCauley rushing in there from the right side, applying pressure to the quarterback also. 2nd and 25 for the Golden Hawks. Wide left, Josh Payne for Centennial. They're in dire strikes. Garner runs to his left. McCauley in hot pursuit. Garner throws it incomplete. That's caused by the pressure. Incomplete pass to Tony Morales. And Garner has run for his life quite a bit during this game. That's why so many of his passes are thrown high and too hard.
Yeah,
for the intended receivers.
He's been off balance for the most part of the game. A couple of times he had some chance to settle down. He's thrown some nice balls, but right there, there's our guy McCauley right there keeping that pressure, able to avoid
that
a
guy's
block
always in there.
And still put the pressure and force really a bad throw.
You kind of wonder if they know he's on defense.
Well, they know he's out there. You can believe that the coaching staff knows he's out there too, because this kid shows up every week on film, and I can bet you he's making plays.
He's always making plays. It's fun to watch. Now he lines him on the left side. Replaces 64. Alex Battistoni lines up right. Both defensive ends. Garner play action. And a pass complete to the far side to number 84 for the Golden Hawks, Nick Seeley. First time we've heard Nick tonight. He looked so good against East High.
Yeah, that's only his second catch since early on that screen pass on that first series. So the Drillers have been doing a good job of taking out one of their top weapons.
But it's punting time for the Golden Hawks. For BHS, you have Blake Mackey and number 12, Ron Benner is deep. Mackey, number 2. Left-footed punt of number 5, Garrett White. High out of bounds at the BHS sideline. And the BHS Balloon Man continues to dance away. Dancing to the night. He's strutting. He's boogieing.
Yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
They'd like to play in a third. And 28-7 in favor of BHS over Centennial. The Drillers with the ball at their own 38-yard line. We'll see what the Drillers do in this series. Wide right, we have Josh Shirley. Slot, Chris O'Neill. Anthony Guerrero with a great game at quarterback. Heavy rush on him. He's thrown down. Like he's trying to flip out to Stansel. Ran into the arms of Ron Fengmeyer. We haven't heard of him since the first couple plays of the game.
Yeah, and he showed up early real big, and that's his about third play. It's a big play for tackle for a loss. And he did a good job just getting some pressure and just running through the line.
And he was able to throw Guerrero to the turf. 2nd and 17 for the Drillers. Now BHS does not want to lose their offensive aggressiveness here in the second half. That's Cooper wide right. Blake wide left for BHS. Guerrero. It's like the Stansel. Nothing is there. The Golden Hawks Arriving.
Well, anytime you have Coach Hudson as your offensive coordinator, the last thing is going to be is conservative.
Blake will line up slot left. Scouts behind Guerrero. Guerrero to his right. Here comes Fangmeyer again. Out another Golden Hawk, and they throw him down. Number 45 in there. Tony Morales. Mackey was going deep along with Wyatt. But the pass protection was not good for the second time this series for the Drillers.
Well, when you only have the 2 receivers there, you can get the 8 men in the box, and you can create the pressure against that offense. And every time you do the play action, that takes time.
Right.
If you have a good front 7, you're not going to have time to do that. As you see right there, they just come through. It wasn't that it wasn't a lot of time, but you just don't have that much. Nobody has that much time to do play action and throw the ball like that with late developing plays.
Burton with another punt from his 5-yard line, almost blocked. It's a little bit shorter. Takes a BHS roll somewhat. They'll be down at the 44-yard line. So the Golden Hawks, very good field position here as they're on 28-7, 5-5-8 to play in the third quarter to BHS.
And the big fella did a good job of getting that ball off under pressure. Was almost blocked. He kind of angled a little bit and got it off.
Here's a guy 6'5", 285 pounds, but like you said, excellent hands as a pitcher in baseball. Can handle the ball. Something very difficult for big guys to do generally. He's had 3 punts. Let go of inside his 5-yard line tonight. So he goes one pressure. Garner to throw. Alexander misses. Had a chance at a diving catch. Comes up empty. Coverage by Josh Shirley, BHS.
Yeah. And Alexander didn't come with the catch, but that really was one of the better throws we've seen thrown tonight. It really was nice and tight out there early. It was thrown. There was good coverage, but it was only thrown where the receiver can get it. It's either you're going to make a catch or we're going to go back in the huddle.
And he didn't. And Centennial needs some plays like that.
Here he is. He's going to do a 5-step drop right there. Sets up, fires it out right there. And Alexander just didn't make the catch. And that's a catch as a receiver. That's a difficult catch, but you're asked to make it.
Hillebrand breaks for about a 4-yard gain to the 48-yard line in Golden Hawk territory. That'll be 3rd and about 7 for Centennial. They've not had too many major plays offensively in the game tonight against BHS. I believe the Golden Hawks have to score in this position or the next possession to get back to the game. They're down by 21-28-7 as the clock winding down here in the third quarter. It's okay to utilize the clock, but it's not really that good when you're down by 3 touchdowns. You're not scoring any points. It's more of an offense when you're tied or ahead. Got to put some juice on the ball.
But they have some plays out of their package where they can make some plays, so it's just a matter of using them. But the other thing is it going to be open against
the right? Fumble on the backfield. BHS has it. Mix up between Garner and company. And the Golden Hawks are foiled.
And that's the big fella, Calvin jumping on it.
Calvin. He's worked hard in there for the Drillers.
Yeah, he has. I'm going to call him Big CC. That's going to be easy for me to say right there. Big CC jumps on it and turns the ball over, and now the Drillers have optimum position right now with 48 yards to go.
Wide right, Brian Cooper for BHS. Guerrero looking over the defense. Back to Marcus Scott. All Thomas Stansel. Guerrero to throw. 3-step drop. To Mackey. Underthrown. Coverage by Vance once again. Mackey had him beat by 3 yards, but a pass was underthrown by Guerrero. Kind of line drives it. The fumble on a recovery by Calvin.
Yeah, Big CC was quick on the ball on that. Saw it on the ground, just jumped on it.
It wasn't like a lot of defensive linemen want to pick it up and try to run.
No, he did the smart thing. Just get it, and you just get possession. You asked me earlier about how would you defend it, the offense like that. We talked about mixing it up. You just got to take some chances that go one-on-one like they did and the ball was thrown short. So that's a low percentage pass play. Even if you have a guy open, you can see can still has a low possibility of being completed.
Yes, well up to about the 48-yard line in Centennial territory. The Golden Hawks trying to hang tough on defense against BHS with 4:40 to play in the third. 27 Drillers who have really began to dominate this game in the second quarter. Playing by number 12 in company for Centennial, trying to come up with a turnover against BHS.
All right, right
number
now,
44, linebacker Mike Elizalde.
you know, right now the Golden Hawks just need to force a punt.
Birdshaw in motion. Guerrero to throw. Pretty heavy pressure. The pass complete to the far side. First down for BHS. Nice quick throw by Anthony Guerrero.
And also, that was a good adjustment on the BHS offensive part. They have been trying play action. They were sacked the last 2 series. This time, they just go straight, drop back, and get rid of the ball. 5 steps and get rid of it. Doesn't take that much time to do that. Guy runs an out pattern. The area is vacated by Mackey. And there's the first down.
Chris O'Neill with the reception for BHS. As we take a look at the concession stand, these guys are trying to make me hungry up here. BHS at the Centennial 35. Play action, Guerrero to throw. Toss it high for Cooper. Incomplete, had trouble following the flight of the ball. Well, the coverage by number 28 for Centennial, and that would be Billy Bright.
And Billy Bright's really been in position on all those little pass plays that have been downfield tonight.
I think that Guerrero wanted Cooper to follow the flight of the ball with his other shoulder.
Well, he ran a corner route where the ball was thrown. There wasn't a way to get to it. The way it was defense, that corner route has to be thrown flat to the sideline. Now your receiver has the advantage.
Cooper wide right. Oh no, slot right. Pitch back. Stanshill going to the outside. 35 puts his head down. Fine play by Bright. Comes up and makes a hit. As DB position for the Golden Hawks. No gain for the Drillers.
Yeah, Bright gets the credit for the tackle, but you got to give the defensive line really did a good job of stringing that sweep out. And again, there hasn't been much running room when they've only had one receiver out there, 2 receivers. The Centennial Golden Hawk football team has been able to have the 7, 8 men in that little area to defense the run like that all night long.
Nick Henderson, 99, number 64, Jake Earl. We also have for the Golden Hawks Elizalde, linebacker. Seeley's out there. Third down. Guerrero to throw. Here comes the pressure. Fires over the middle to Blake. Complete 10-yard line. Touchdown, BHS. Great pressure put on Guerrero by number 53, Ryan Womack, but he was a little bit too late.
Great pressure, but also that's the way you beat that coverage. That's what BHS has to use with Mackey. All his pass plays do not need to be on the sideline. It's the second game I've seen. That's only the second time I've seen him come across the middle to catch a ball. It's going to be wide open. And his height at 6'3", the ball can be thrown high, can be thrown a little outside. He's going to make the play, and he's going to have room to run once he catches the ball.
And he did it again. The pass to the 10-yard line, and Blake just exploded into the end zone. 4 touchdown passes for Anthony Guerrero, and 1 scoring.
Yeah, and right now, Anthony
Guerrero,
Guerrero
a little help from some of his friends.
is having a career game, but again, he gets credit for a touchdown, but Mackey caught the ball 12 yards short of the touchdown. Right. And that's what you see. I mean, that's reminiscent of Jerry Rice in his prime.
Right.
That quick post is not a deep post where the ball's thrown out. So the post is thrown real short and it's snapped off, and the ball's thrown crisp and on a line. That's a good pass play for them in their package. And it's something that I think they should use more of as a higher percentage pass play than throwing the ball 30 yards downfield, 50 yards downfield on the bomb.
Well, Blake Mackey has that exceptional ability to get open when he catches the ball. He just smells the end zone. He accelerates to the goal line.
And that's what you're talking about, a guy that has that potential to be on the next level. You go anywhere in America and watch a high school ball game, all those kind of players are going to put the ball in the end zone when they get the opportunity.
A very impressive performance by BHS tonight. A lot of people think of BHS as a run-oriented team, but they've been passing the ball very effectively tonight for big plays. Defense has performed extremely well. 35-7 Drillers. 2:35 to play in the third. It was 0.7 at the half. Centennial coming off a shutout loss to Buchanan last week. Very tough to play Buchanan and BHS in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, you're asking your ball club for really a tough assignment. You're talking about the 2 best teams in the Valley. You know, one is the #1 defensive team in the section. So, I mean, you're really asking a tough challenge in your offense. If your defense not to make any turnovers, and make any big plays, it's a lot of pressure.
Number 34, the ball carried for the Golden Hawks across the 30 to about the 39-yard line. And they get pumped up. Mike Montgomery, we talked about him. That's his first carry tonight. He was injured in the preseason. They were hoping for him to have some playing time. And finally he gets the ball and makes a long run for the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, remember, he's missed 3 weeks, so he's not going to have the stamina the other players are going to have. And you really want to work him in and slowly into your offense and get him going.
He's in the back, about 205 pounds. A pass incomplete. 10 for 84 for the Golden Hawks. Nick Seelig. He never turned around for the ball. The ball thrown to his backside. 2nd and 10 for the Golden Hawks, who many times tonight seem very out of sync against BHS.
Yeah,
I'm sure the drill is good out to a lot of teams they play.
Yeah, and that's what this defense is going to do to you. They got the front seven, they got the speed, they're going to put pressure, and they're also able to hold you. I mean, last week they held Close West to 13 points, so this defense is going to come to play.
Well, the Golden Hawks gave up 21 against East Time. Their victory had a shot in the second week. They were blown out last week. Montgomery hit hard in the backfield and goes down. BHS tackling by committee against Mike Montgomery. As he gets some playing time here in the second half. 35-7 game, 150 to play in the third. When's the last time Centennial got rattled in back-to-back games? Doesn't happen very often.
Well, I don't think it has happened. You know, it might, if it has, maybe once.
Well, the worst loss in the series in the regular season was the first time these teams played when BHS won 21-0, but it was a close game until late in the fourth quarter. And BHS handled Centennial in a playoff game a couple years ago. Pass complete to number 7, Daniel Chappell for the Golden Hawks. That was in the rain. Centennial had won earlier in the year, and then they met again in the playoffs at Golden Hawk Stadium, and BHS came away with a fine performance. Pat Osborne and McGill and those guys. That was the team that went to the finals and were defeated by Clovis West. A lot of those players in that team from BHS are now competing for Fresno State.
Yeah, and that's another team that was really talented. You know, the Drillers have a tradition, and the coaches got really fortunate that they get Division I level caliber athletes coming to their program, and you know, and they utilize them well, and that should get some credit to that coaching staff as well.
Centennial midfield, 1st and 10. Donner, here comes the pressure on him. He unloads it as he is thrown to the turf by Kyle Scott. No flags on the play. Travis did a great job just getting rid of it. Scott in his face.
Yeah, Scott came in unblocked right there and just put the heat on him and forced him to unload it like that.
Another guy with nice size, about 6 feet 215, outside linebacker. Besides the Mackeys and Stansils and Guerrero and Cooper on offense, I like some of the guys on defense for BHS. I like their athleticism. Randall, Shirley, Scott. Talk about McCauley. Very solid. Going to throw, heavy pressure, just kind of unloads it. Here comes a late flag. Shirley on the coverage for BHS.
You know, and I agree with you on that. I think a lot of times the defenses are overshadowed by the powerful offenses. You know, when you have the Steve Woffers and the James Allisons and the Aaron McDonalds and the Bryce McGills and I mean all these different offensive threats, the Osbornes and you know the Mackeys, they tend to get a lot of the
ink,
attention
yes.
and the ink. So people overlook these defenses who have had some stellar performances over the past 11, 12 years.
The only problem I can see with the BHS defense tonight is some of the personal fouls, and they had back-to-back ones, which helped Centennial score their only touchdown. And now we have a PF here against BHS, which is kind of silly because they're dominating the game, and they don't really need to hold or do whatever to intimidate the Golden Hawks that's going on the field. Just let yourself play. Just play ball. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. 40 seconds to play in the third. At a timeout on the field. 35-7 in favor of BHS over Centennial here late in the third quarter. Kevin Snee, the head coach of the Golden Hawks. He is assisted by Randy Roberts, Dave Titsworth, Blake Smith, Richard Parrott, Mike Lewis, Dave Rice. The BHS Drillers coached by Tim Hartnett, of course. Assistants Mark Hudson, Jason Oliver, one of Brian's buddies, Joe Birdman, Jonathan Moran, Sean McKeon, and David Hinton. BHS looking very good here. Great shape, up by 28 points late here in the third quarter.
You know, and talking about the driller coaching staff, you know, you have a lot of stability over the last 12 years. You have Coach Hartnett, who was there when they had the undefeated seasons, 39-0. Coach Hudson was part on some of those when he helped out coaching. He coached Jason and myself when we were JVs. And you also have David Hinn and Jason Oliver. You have two guys here who are part of 26 wins, so they're going to bring a lot to the ball game when they're in practice. They're going to understand where the player's coming from. They've been there. They know it's going to take to win, and these players have to look for them because really, if you don't win it all, don't get undefeated, it's hard for you to ever be thought of as one of the best teams ever to play in the school history.
Ranked number 7 in the state, BHS. Guard to throw on a pass, incomplete, intended for Alexander, throwing a little bit away from him. He had to make a very difficult catch. The coverage by Josh Shirley, who's done a great job for the driller. 6 feet, 170 pounds.
Here's a throw again as Garner steps in there with pressure again, so another hurry throw, and it just tails out, and they just can't connect. And then you see Shirley. I mean, Shirley always seems to be right near the receiver, so he's providing good coverage to where that ball cannot be thrown. If it's thrown anywhere behind him, that's going to be an interception for Shirley. He's going to go the other way.
Well, as you know, Garner has not had a lot of time to set up and throw today. He generally has thrown the ball a little bit quicker than he would like to because of the pressure. Sets up in a pass. Intercepted by Rondo. He's going to go down the sidelines, midfield 40. He's gone to the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, BHS. Rondo in the right place at the right time.
And not only is Randall big and strong, he's fast, and you see him roll down the sideline right there.
Hey, is there anybody on the team that can't run? Well, he's done a great job on defense, and he's there a chance to win one back.
You know, I mean, this is the mark of a good or a great team is they make a mistake, give a penalty, they come back and they erase it by making a good play. We've seen the tight end, Wyatt, do it earlier. Got the false start and then came back and made the big first down.
Well, you know, we like their offensive players, but I am really impressed with their defense. They got guys in defense that can make plays, create turnovers, and bring them back. So it's a twofold type of team.
I mean, and they like I said, they've traditionally been good on defense time and time again, year in, year out. You know, when you have Coach Hartnett, who's been there for so long as assistant and as a head coach, he calls defensive plays. He's been calling them. The defense is going to stay consistent. You know, the thing that has been the thing that probably has lacked the most is the consistency on offense, and that's why they brought Hudson in is to try to get some consistency and establish more of an open offense. And here's the replay right here. That's a three-step drop. The ball's fired out. It was a slant going to the receiver. And they're right there. Randall's right there, hits him right in the breadbasket, and he just takes off and outruns everybody.
It was trying to hit Alexander, but the pass wasn't even close to him. It was behind him or in front of him, or Alexander moved the wrong way.
Well, he wasn't going to Alexander. He was going to the slant man. And what happened is, here's Shirley running in, and he was the guy that disrupted it. Shirley walked up on the man and just really jammed him off the line, disrupted the whole play. The ball's off late. You know, by him being jammed, it also let Randall get out in time, so it really affected the whole play. Just one cornerback jamming the receiver changed the whole play.
41-7 in favor of BHS, but 21 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Now at this point, the Golden Hawks have to regain some of their confidence because the Drillers are embarrassing them tonight on their home field. But you make a mistake against BHS, and they're going to burn you. They have such great speed, and I heard about the speed, but it's better than I thought. Not just on offense, but on defense. You got guys that can create mistakes. And when you make turnovers against them, they're gonna burn you for it.
Yeah, and the preseason paper talked about this team being a traditional powerhouse team, and now watching them, you can see how come they would be that traditional thing of the 88 team, 89, 90 team. This team has speed everywhere you can imagine, in the secondary, in the linebacking core, on the front line defense. Then on offense, their offensive line really is anchored by Bergman, who is, again, another Division I player. And he's going to lead that offensive line, but then you go with the outside guys, with Mackey and Stansel. And then your other players, Wyatt, they're good athletes too. We saw the good move on the one touchdown. I can't think of the other tight end. Cooper made a play.
Brian Cooper's a great catch. He's been a focal point of the game tonight.
But on the 4th and 4 play, the other tight end made a great move to get open. So, I mean,
Hansen with a touchdown reception.
Hansen, so there's not many weak spots on there. It's going to see how they're going to match up when they play a team if they meet a Buchanan who matches up with them physically. Then it'll come down to a contest of who makes the least few minimal mistakes.
Not a bad kickoff by Tynan Wyatt. It kicks it to the end zone, number 21. So the kicking game has looked pretty good tonight for the Drillers, and a very solid performance against the Golden Hawks. Centennial will try to get something going here in the 4th quarter. But Beach just taking Centennial out of their game as the Golden Hawks are throwing much more than they would like to, and that tends to cause mistakes. They would much rather run the football. Use up the clock, but you can't do that when you're down by so much in the game. In fact, the last 2 games the Golden Hawks have played, they have been out of their normal realm offensively. The new quarterback for Centennial, number 11, he was warm up on the sidelines, Travis Freeland. They almost had a mix-up on the first play, but they'll have an entire quarter to work on it as the clock winding down here in the 3rd from Griffith Field. After 3 BHS 41, Centennial 7. You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31, Digital Cable 106.
Change my online service. They're all the same.
This is better.
Prove it.
How would you like to try Roadrunner High-Speed Online side by side with your current online service?
Dude, let's do it.
See how fast Roadrunner delivers sports and music with just a click of a button. You have 30 days to decide if Roadrunner is for you. If not, you haven't risked a thing.
No risk is good.
Call now and ask how you can get Roadrunner installed for as low as $49.95.
The all-new X96.5, blazing today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5.
Okay, 4th quarter action. It is BHS 41, Centennial 7. Freeland, a quarterback for the Golden Hawks. As well given to Hildebrand. Stumbles his way up to about the 25-yard line. Mike Montgomery had a couple of carries for the Golden Hawks in their last series as they try to get him back into the flow of things. He was injured in the preseason and hasn't played this year except for the last series for Centennial.
And he's going to be important in their run for their league to repeat as league champions, too.
I do think the Golden Hawks are going to improve as the season progresses. Remember, they are the favorites in the Southwest Assembly League as is BHS and SEYL. So they could meet again somewhere down the line. BHS going for its 4th consecutive victory this year. Freeland the throw. The pass underthrown to number 8 for Centennial. Matt King does new in a ball game for the Golden Hawks.
We have another flag on the field.
Centennial throwing a lot more than they would like to in a football game. And that's because they're down 41-7. But the drill is taking them totally out of their offensive flow and taking them out of what they would like to do. That is run the football and pass occasionally.
Well, when they got down 14 points, they couldn't afford to get that far behind with this team as explosive as the Driller offense is. And also, too, they had some opportunities. The opening kick, they recovered it. They didn't do anything with it. Didn't get 3 points. Didn't get a touchdown. Had to give it back over. So, you just can't make those kind of mistakes against this team. You have to take advantage of the opportunities. You don't have that many.
A number of new Golden Hawks coming into the game, like number 86, and that would be Marion Williams, senior, 5'2", 160, playing receiver, covered by Dover. BHS with a few new people in there. Friedland, tall quarterback, looking for his receiver, out of bounds, incomplete. Coverage by number 87, Matthew Dover. You can get hurt over here on the sidelines.
Right there, Dover had pretty good coverage. He was in front of the receivers. Only ball was going to be thrown was a bad pass behind him, and it became up short. But good coverage. The secondary for the Drillers do a real good job of providing coverage for the front seven. They do a good job of doing positioning, so they're really well coached out there.
Matt King wide right for the Golden Hawks. Friedland, King in motion. Pitch back, Hildebrand, right side. BH is coming up, 35, and they power him to the turf. Number 64 for the Golden Hawks. That will be Jake Earl trying to push some people around to no avail. And the blue man still doing his thing on the other side.
Well, he's doing his thing.
About 2.5 to 3 hours for him.
Well, he'll be retiring in about...
He's jamming away.
He'll be retiring in about 11 minutes or so.
I've never seen a guy dance that long, and that well.
Well, the sad thing, he's dancing by himself.
Yeah, okay. Okay, for the Golden Hawks, it is 3rd and 9. Moving left to right across their TV dial. Hildebrand slices his way to the 45. And to about the 47. It should be a first down for the Golden Hawks.
We also have some new players on defense, too, for the Drillers as well. Here's Hildebrand running inside. He's going to cut it up and just puts his head down right now. He's going to just run over a couple guys and just pick up some extra yardage.
Tackle by Daniel, number 10, Deville for BHS. Number 23 in the game, Michael Juanatas for the Drillers. Line up at the right side, defensive end. Freeland to throw. Out pattern complete to number 8 for Centennial, driven back. King with a reception.
And Shirley does a good job of driving them back. But that's one of my favorite passes right there is that hitch. If that defensive back is playing off and they're backpedaling out and they're belling out, that's a 5-yard gain.
For sure, that looked good on the highlight film and also here on TV. Nice driving tackle.
As a defender, it looks good for you as an offensive player. You just clap your hands saying, yeah, I just got 8 yards. I guess got 7 yards. Now we're 2nd and 3.
Version number 6 in there for the Drillers. Still safe to Ron Vanners. Brandon Randall, who returned that last pass for a touchdown. Coming from the backside on Freeland. He fumbles the ball. Hildebrand picks it up. He tries to elude the tackle of Skyle Scott. Finally driven down inside his 50-yard line.
And you want to know who was
the
in on
entire
that
Driller
sack?
team was coming in.
And you know who was in on that too, don't you?
Oh, number 9.
Oh, you
McCauley.
know, here he is right here. He'll be coming into our screen real soon. There he
There
is,
he
the
is.
first one to get to him. And then I mean, look at Scott right there. Look, he's tackling 2 players on one play. I mean, these guys are just incredible with the way they're how
Kyle
good they
Scott
are and how fast they
grabbed
are.
him once, twice, and 3 times. Never gave up on a ball carrier. McCauley's so good, I don't see him half the time. But he's usually at the bottom of the pile or starting something. Always in on a play, putting pressure on the quarterback or whatever.
We have Hildebrand coming
Nathan
off the
McCauley.
field on his own power, which is a good sight to see.
Yeah, one of the main players for the Golden Hawks as they enter the Southwest Yosemite League. Remember, they played Buchanan BHS back-to-back. They are not league games. They're teams they may meet in the playoffs, but they count as far as your overall record, but not your league record. They're 2-2, the Golden Hawks now. 8:31 to play in a game. Freeland the throw. At a pass incomplete. A little bit too high for number 86, Marion Williams. They just came into the game on this series. 4th down Punting time for the Golden Hawks. Freeland for the Golden Hawks, a junior quarterback. He is 6'3", 185 pounds, so he definitely has the size at that position. Not the experience yet. White standing back there. Garrett White for the Golden Hawks. Beautiful left-footed kick. Takes a Centennial roll to about the 21-yard line in BHS territory. 41-7 Drillers. 8:17 to play in the ball game from Griffith Field. And you're watching the prep football game of the week. Mark Heffernan with the real Brian Adams.
The real one, huh? Where's the fake one?
The other guy's a rock and roll
Oh, okay.
guitarist. He's been around a long time.
We have a new quarterback. We got Venners going over to play quarterback now.
So Venners can play QB. 6'2", 190-pounder. Hand the ball off to definitely a big guy, number 53. That's our buddy. Earl Johnson, a fourth. 5'10", 245 pounds. He's a junior.
And has some quickness and some explosion on that run, too.
Yes.
Here it is right here. Venners comes back to Johnson right there, and he just hits the hole full speed, and he's going to cover it up. Good job covering the ball up with two hands and just takes a guy for a ride.
Wow. 2nd and 2 for BHS. Number 6, the ball carrier, Rashawn Virtue. And I believe he has the first down to about the 33-yard line before driven back.
We see bodies flying over the pile in that last play.
So I think we can move the chains. Clock stops momentarily, 7:33. Golden Hawks coming into the game and others going out as they reshuffle the roster. 41-7 in favor of BHS. Pitch out. Oh, what a hit. Number 43, Damian Kavanaugh for Centennial, senior. Linebacker, 192 pounds.
Travis Johnson right there at the run. Took a little pop, but got up quick. And
you got to do that.
Let him know here it is right here as he's getting driven back. Good play by the defense.
5'7", 150 pounds. But he's fast. Wide left, Manuel Ortiz for BHS, number 17 on the eye. Versher. Johnson over there. Pass incomplete. 10 for number 83, Michael Cooper. Guy who was a reasonably good basketball player for the Lakers, a defensive specialist, and now head coach of the Sparks of the WNBA.
You know, and he's a junior. I see a lot of 11s on our roster, so the Drillers do have some young players, and there's a chance for them to get some time to play and develop their skills as well.
Okay, 3rd and 11 for BHS at their own 31-yard line. As we have Ron Venners looking over the defense. Runs to the running back. That's a big guy, James Johnson, the fourth. And he goes down as the Golden Hawks penetrate to the offensive backfield of BHS and drive him to the turf. So Earl Johnson, the fourth, did not have a chance to break that one.
No, but it took a team to get him down, though.
And we have Robert Bergman back deep to punt. The BHS at his own 15-yard line. Number 70. Centennial has 11 players in the field. A beautiful one by Bergman. Out long, though. Caught by number 7, Daniel Chapman. And down immediately by Reese Battistoni for BHS. At 5:51 on the clock, 41-7 Drillers as they go to 4-0. Centennial falls to 2-2.
Yeah, we seen Chapman right there catch 2 punts. He's ready for that XFL punt return. No fair catches, huh?
Really? Did you do that a lot, or did you like the fair catch?
No, because, I mean, when we were in college, the only time I really fair caught was by the 10-yard line, something like that. You don't take a chance of dropping the ball, but out in the field, they have to break down anyway to give you opportunity to catch the ball. And that little breakdown also gives them a chance to hesitate, and you catch it, you might be able to make one guy miss and make a big play.
Salvin Kahn with the run for the Golden Hawks. He scored their only touchdown today on a shovel pass early in the ball game. Good-looking runner, number 32, has returned some of the kickoffs for the Golden Hawks.
And here he is
Giving
right
him
here.
some playing time.
Does a good job. It just slipped right there, but does a real good job of getting upfield.
I just hope I haven't destroyed the pronunciation of his name. 5:12 to play. Freeland at QB for the Golden Hawks. And he has the ball again up the middle to about the 48. Runs into a bevy of BHS blue jerseys.
You know, and right now, you know, although the game is 41-7, this is an opportunity, like I was saying earlier, where you're a second-team player, you don't get a chance to play it often. You need to come out and be ready to play, be focused, and not worry about what the score of the game is, and make yourself a better player.
Brian Polk into the game for Centennial 85, and like Brian said, always be ready at a moment's notice. You could be in the ball game. It could be your time to shine, to perform. Two receivers wide left for Centennial. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. Freeland rolling to his left. Montes come from the backside. A pass complete to 19. And it goes down to the 42-yard line. Kelly Williams, who we have not seen a lot of tonight for Centennial.
No, and he's a player that we saw against East High that really revamped and spark-plugged that offense and got some things going. And he's also a junior, a young player who came from the Garcia's JV team last year that was undefeated. So he's a good player, and they have some good things to look forward out of him.
Well, I still think the Golden Hawks are trying to find themselves as a team. I believe they're going to improve as the season goes on. They have a lot of new players on their club, and a lot of them are not sure what their role will be for this Golden Hawks ball club. Nice hit after a first down run by 32 Savancom. Powering his way up the middle. Got a first down for the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, Venners came right there and put a little pop on them. You know, and that's a safety. You know, you've been waiting for this, a running back to come down field like this, kind of legs held up, standing up, and then just hit him. You can't even draw it up better than if you're a safety to see that happening.
As a running back ran into a sea of blue. At 3:20 to play in the ball game. Golden Hawks on the move at the BHS 31. Somebody moved too early. They were thinking about that pizza after the game.
Well, you know, if the thing about pizza right now, they're not ready to play. I mean, like I said, he's a second team player. You should be out here playing.
Right on.
You don't worry about, you know, this is.
I got you.
But I do agree with you about Centennial trying to find themselves as a team and what they're going to do.
Wide right, number 86, Marion Williams. Freeland's pass intended for him. Knocked away, incomplete. Ran into double zone coverage at BHS. Long pass by Freeland. Williams had a chance at it.
And Johnson, who was the running back in the other series, knocked it down.
One thing I want to say about the BHS drillers tonight, they have been relentless. They have exuded speed on both offense and defense, and a lot of confidence. And I was very impressed by the play of quarterback Anthony Guerrero. 4 touchdown passes and 1 running. Kind of set the tone for the team. Savancom breaks a couple of tackles, but gets back to the line of scrimmage. Nice hit by Marcus Scott for the drillers, number 4. Well, Scott plays on offense and give him more playing time on defense here.
Yeah, and I can't agree with you more. You know, Mackey is definitely the star of this team, but Guerrero's going to be the man that's going to guide him. If they're going to go undefeated and go in and win the Valley title, he's going to be the one that's going to lead them there. If he plays the way he did last night, he's going to give his team an excellent opportunity to win everything.
How many Mackeys have played here at BHS? It's amazing. They've all been great players. Excellent. Freeland throws, pass, complete to the 22-yard line to number 84, Nick Seelish. Excellent pass, great reception. The Golden Hawks on the move, deep in BHS territory, getting close to the red zone.
And Nick, hadn't had the big game that we saw him have against East High. He's been pretty much contained very well tonight.
The clock continues to roll on. 1:40 to play in the game. 41-7 in favor of BHS over the Golden Hawks. Centennial with that tough matchup of playing Buchanan and Bakersfield High back-to-back games. One at home, one on the road. This series will be tied at 3-3. Centennial have that 3-2 advantage now. Both teams have won 3 apiece in this very short but storied rivalry.
And for one team to have such a long tradition of playing football and one short tradition, it really is a testament to that program that they're able to be in a 3-3 deadlock.
Right. The clock on a minute. Centennial at the BHS 18-yard line. Freeland will throw on the pass behind his intended receiver, Matt King, incomplete. So the timing has been a little bit off.
Yeah,
they have not matched BHS's athleticism. And the Golden Hawks really have been down most of the second half because BHS is such a great second quarter, which really did in the Golden Hawks.
Yeah, that just blew it open. And you talk about the timing. I'm watching the quarterback. They're stepping and they're releasing is not on time with the receivers, and that's something you can do against air, just 3 steps and pop. But a lot of teams don't pass the ball in this area a lot, so that's something that you don't.
Option pitch is behind the intended receiver, the running back, number 32, Savancom. BHS almost had a chance to pick it up.
Yeah, and Centennial was moving in the right direction, and then
clock down to 35 seconds.
Moving back a little bit now.
I'll be throwing the ball to the end zone. Right around the option now. Zero it out.
Well,
let's go for the score.
Zero it out, man. I don't have an option the entire game. I do it now.
Let's throw it towards the end zone. 14 seconds, 13. The ball at the BHS 25-yard line. Freeland, sprint out left. He throws it is complete. Savancom, and down at the 16-yard line. And the clock will run out. Will they stop it at 1 second to play? That's all over. The final score from Griffith Field. Bakersfield High 41, Centennial 7. A masterful performance by BHS.
Yeah, BHS just sent a message to everybody that, last year we tied for the league, but we're coming out this year and we won it all. And like I said, from the get-go in the press this year, they were touted the team with the powerhouse pass to relate to those teams. And they're coming out tonight, and they show that they want to be in that stature. They want their picture on the wall with the other teams on the wall of champions down there.
You're watching the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNNSI. Time Warner Cable, Channel 31. Digital Cable, 106.
It's pretty simple, really. You want to advertise your business on TV? Call Time Warner Cable. We'll put you on some of the most popular shows on your favorite cable networks.
We could put your business on ESPN. It's the ultimate sports network.
We'll get you seen and heard on CNN, the stage for some of the most interesting people around.
Use Telemundo and Galavision to reach out to the fastest growing segment of our community.
When you call Time Warner Cable, we'll map out a strategy, custom built for your business. We'll produce a commercial for you, and then deliver your message on some of the most popular shows on TV. Think of Time Warner as your own personal advertising department. We make it easy to advertise on the cable networks, and we do it affordably. Call Time Warner now, and we'll send you free information on how simple it is to get your business on the cable networks. Time Warner Cable. It's the best way to get on television.
Anthony Guerrero threw for 4 touchdown passes tonight and ran for 1. And the BHS defense was stupendous as they defeated Centennial tonight 41-7 at Griffith Field.
Yeah, this was just driller football all around, offense, big plays, able to do some running a little bit when they spread the field out, and the defense just did what they do best, and that's take the ball away and score and just smother the run.
And Blake Mackey was sensational, as was Thomas Stansel. We heard about the speed of BHS on offense, but I was impressed with their speed on defense and all their athletes.
Well, I think whenever you mention speed, it's synonymous now with the Driller Football Club. Speed is on both sides of the ball. And right here we're going to see an example of Randall. Here's one of your outside linebackers catching the ball, and he's taking off like he's been practicing with Mackey, saying that I want to run against you in track. You know what I mean? So speed is always, on a traditional powerhouse Driller team, is one of their main keys. They have speed all the way around, and this team has it.
That's Brandon Rano, who had a great game defensively, as did McCauley, and so many players in BHS. You have to name most of the guys in their team as who played well for Tim Hartnett tonight, as they improved to 4-0 and maybe improve on the number 7 ranking in the state.
Well, it's going to depend on who wins and loses in that ranking. And that state ranking is a mythical ranking. It's not like in the state of California where you play for it. It's a mythical ranking, and you could be undefeated and a team could have a loss and you still won't be number 1. So
Centennial's now 2-2, but they will improve as this year progresses. For Brian Adams, I'm Mark Heffernan. You've been watching the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31, Digital Cable 106. Good night.